Dabba dabba dabba. Wait, what sound do worms make? Hell yeah, brother! Oh my god. Let me preface this by saying that if there was ever another universe where I got turned into a freaking worm, I'd be a bookworm. E-books were introduced to the world, I of course got a Kindle. Now, as you may know, I did fall into the fanfiction rabbit hole, but that's the story for another time. Now, when I tell you I have been glued to this thing, it is small, it's portable, it's literally 5 bookshelves into one tiny ass device. What is there to dislike about it? Well, for one, ebooks are way more expensive than paperbacks nowadays. Amazon, what the fuck? I read fantasy, autobiography, fiction, spicy fanfiction, spicy fiction, books on productivity, manga, and art books. Aside from my rabbit and my dog trying to get a nice bite out of the corner of my Kindle, it has been with me every step of the way. The events of this story happened last spring on my flight to the beloved land of Canada. And everything went as normal. I had put my items back into my carry-on bag, deboarded a plane, picked up the luggage, and went well on our way to the hotel. And we did everything we wanted to do during our 4 days there. With so much activity, it's no wonder I did not expect that something was amiss. It had dawned to me that my blue-ass Kindle was nowhere to be found until the very last day of the trip, but not a blue rectangle in sight. So after sulking for 5 whole minutes, I went straight to the airport's lost and found page, and it asked for the flight I was on, the description, and the photo of the item. In the description of the item, blue Kindle. Definitely not one of a kind. Another thing to note, I didn't really have any photos of my Kindles on hand. It also just so happened that the blue on the cover was exactly the same blue as the airplane seat, so of course I overthink a lot, so I headed straight to Reddit, trying to find stories of people being reunited with their beloved Kindle, and I also had a morbid curiosity on how many Kindles have been lost up in the air, and yeah, it's like a whole city of Kindles in the lost and found. But after seeing all this, there just ain't no way my Kindle was going to be found at this rate. On the way home, I was so heartbroken, moody, and sulking about it. My husband, who has always been attentive to, my mood swing, pulled me aside and asked, "Are you sad you lost your smut?" Yes, I'm very sad I lost all my smut. Holy shit, what if a kid finds it? After breaking the Kindle from the Amazon account and then scouring Facebook Marketplace on the flight home, because those damn paperwhites got more expensive over the years, I was eventually #blessed. By the grace of God and the generosity of my friend that just so happened to have an extra one laying around, I managed to acquire another Kindle paperwhite. The one thing I did buy was a boring blank colored cover, however, that was super intentional because
I'm about to vandalize the living shit out of it.
yes, so I've learned my lesson after losing my Kindle the first time around. I really have to make an effort to make it more easily identifiable. And while I did shop around and trying to find a cover that just spoke to me, I did conveniently remember that I am an artist and I have an art channel and that I can draw my own damn cover. Anyways, I had already drafted some ideas in my sketchbook. I wanted the front cover to be a single image, and because I'm super predictable, I drew my husband, my dog, and I hiking next to a waterfall, which is totally obvious from all the chicken scratch here. I did a couple more iterations of the sketch just to nail down the main idea. For the back cover, I was thinking of drawing 9 icons of things that represented me. Yeah, super creative. Up here is food because food, duh. And then my oldest rabbit who had passed away a couple years ago. Rip and bless up to her. Comic supplies here for drawing. My other rabbit, my Nintendo Switch, the cat, painting, the dog, and a single stem cherry blossom. I honestly wanted to play it safe with this idea just because I had just came back from traveling and then work was picking up. I didn't really want to spend forever trying to come up with a Kindle cover idea. I'm just gonna doodle this in with a white Posca marker pen and not make this super complicated. And if I ever wanted to do a cover upgrade, I can always simply buy another blank cover and vandalize that one. So here, I'm just sketching this in because big bad mistakes are 100% guaranteed to happen whenever I'm involved with something, so it's just a good idea to have an undersketch in there. No witchcraft of any sort to be seen here. Side note, I really like the new colors of the newer Paperwhite Kindles. Kinda wish they offered more colors and selection. A big corporation named Amazon surely has enough buckaroos to really go crazy with colors if they really wanted to. But oh wells. Gonna start with the back here because honestly it seemed easier to do, and starting with the big drawing first is all sorts of intimidating. Now y'all can barely see the pencil lines on the cameras, and the phase where the art looks like crap initially is really the magic of being an artist. So voila! A fully penciled back cover. Just gonna whip out the Posca markers. Ah! Okay, oh, sorry. Putting in that first mark is always so gut-wrenching. No matter how many years you draw, the blank canvas is always the arch nemesis of an artist. La 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 la. Oh, I didn't shake the pen enough. It'd be looking a bit liquidy here. I'll just go over the lines again and just hope I don't mess it up. Gang, of course I messed it up, but I did have green Posca markers laying around, kind of close to the color of the Kindle cover. I bought a set of these markers a couple years ago, so I hope there's some juice left in them. Going to try and hide the white outline by going over it with the green marker. Not too bad. I'll probably need to go over it again once that dries up. Moving on. Bloop, 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 bloop. Thankfully, because the underlining is there, it's just cruise control from this point on. Ta-da! You won't see any mistakes if you guys just don't stare at it hard enough. But only I could stare at it, because I gotta do some line art fixes and maybe clean up the green marker a bit. Side note, there was this Posca art YouTuber that I had watched a lot, and she had a discount code for some of the brands she was using. I got a small set of these Artistro and Molotow markers, along with the Posca branded one. Honestly, I think Posca is still the most popular option, but Molotow has a bit more color variety, and Arista's pretty budget friendly. Now, I hadn't really used these extensively outside of drawing on a notebook and sketchbook covers, but I don't think you can go wrong with experimenting. I'd figured that if there was a chance I'd manage to lose it again, there should be a way for a good Samaritan to contact me. Now, I'm not about to advertise my phone number and email here on youtube.com, so I just gotta put my Instagram handle for convenience. That means it is time to move on to the front cover. Now, I'm feeling fairly warmed up at this point, and the sketch in the front is pretty clear to me, so at this point I'm just going to bypass the pencil phase. Yeah, let's just fuck it up. At this point, the Molotow marker was doing a much better job giving me that nice and solid white lines I needed, so I just went ahead with that. Gotta start with the text at the bottom, so I know how much space I have to work with for the main illustration. Gotta dry it up like a girl drying up her tears. I usually start with the drawing of the people first, just to have that scale before filling in the blanks with the background. So in the sketch, me overlooking the waterfalls with my husband and dog just aura farming next to me. Doggy! I learned this tip from one of my Instagram real brain rot sessions, but when you try to draw people straight with ink, you'd want to start with 4 dots. So the top dot would be the top of the head, the second dot would be the top of the shoulder, the third dot would be for the hip, and then the bottom dot would be the bottom of the foot. Look easier said than done, but it does help me get the proportions right, and hopefully the sketch still reads as a person. Doo, 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 doo. Now just gonna add in a tree to complete the foreground. Now, I'm not a connoisseur of trees, this is just a generic one, but I should probably do more tree studies later down the line. Now, adding the rock formations in the back, hopefully the simple line work is convincing enough to read as a cliff, and then adding in the waterfall. The waterfalls do have a dramatic straight stream of water, so the downward line also hopefully translates as a waterfall stream. While I'm drawing the pine trees at the top of the cliff, I did realize the plastic under my sleeve might be a bit distracting, but that is a protective cover for a brand new tattoo I got, which I can show on camera sometime in the future once it's healed. We are just about finishing up here, and well, bam! Wait, let me add more dots. And well, bam! Yeah! Here it is in all of its glory. It's not super jaw-dropping, spectacular stuff, but if I were to send this photo to the airlines and have a description that says, "It says Apple Kindle on the front and 99 comes in the back," I'm sure someone on the airline will be able to identify and pull this from their pile of homeless Kindles. And I've just added in the Kindle here, and it's looking all nice and snug in its brand spanking new cover. Also, I need to make sure my dang Kindle doesn't run away from me again by actually wadding it to my hand or something. Just kidding. That about wraps it up here. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my rambling. I was supposed to upload more in January, but that was just such an insane month for a multitude of reasons. I'm glad to get back on the YouTube saddle. I do hope to post more art videos for this month of February, so I will see you all in the next one. Keep drawing, and I wish you all an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye!